Alright, YouTube, it is Mr. Mean coming at you this Saturday morning. It is snowing in Duluth. We are getting, it's a real light powder, but it's I guess it's going to snow most of the day. Today's video du jour is a great one. You can probably tell by the two books in the background that we're following up on Kobold Press's Warlock III Grimoire. First of all, I can't say enough about this series. It is fantastic. I will point out that they do have a Patreon on Kobold Press. If you go to their site, you can subscribe to Warlock, their zine, basically for 5th edition D&D. It's in the Kobold, predominantly set in the Kobold Press IP of Midgard, which is a fantastic setting. I have all the books back there. You can see the orange spine sitting right there. That's all the Kobold Press books. They've done issues 1 and 2, and they've just come out with issue 3. I got it about a week ago, and I've been perusing it, and it's the best one so far. It's really good. The cover art is amazing. So what are we looking at here? We're looking at 288 pages. That includes the OGL. It is $24.95. You can probably find it a little bit cheaper at various places. I got mine off of Miniature Market, so I paid a little bit. By the time shipping was kicked in, it was $24.95 or roughly 26 bucks. It's all black and white art. This thing has a ton of info. All of these little tomes are just chocked full of information. Now, I know what you're thinking, Mr. Mean. You're not a D&D guy. You don't like D&D. You've expressed many times how you don't GM D&D. You barely will play D&D. Why are you supporting Warlock Grimoire issue 3, much less issues 1 and 2? Well, quite simply, the Midgard world is fantastic. I am not a huge fan of D&D's mechanics. I do like their worlds. I'm a huge Ravenloft fan. I'm a huge Dragonlance fan. I was never big into Forgotten Realms or Greyhawk, but I know of them, and I have some books that support them. They make great worlds. I mean, Dragonlance was amazing. You know, they Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman, phenomenal material. I've read all the novels. I've played in the world. Their Birthright setting, I was a huge fan of back in the days of AD&D, and I used to have quite a few supplements for Birthright, and now it's just outrageously expensive. And I would love to get a copy of the core Birthright box set. But like, I went into one of the collector stores here in Duluth. It's a comic book / magic shop, and they have a boxed set, and it's going for close to $200. I'm like, I'm not spending that much money on a game that I won't even be able to find anyone to play with. Much less, I was not a huge fan of 2nd edition AD&D rules, but it was what we had at the time, and so it's what we played. But anyway, the Warlock Grimoire III is predominantly focused on Midgard. That doesn't mean you have to use it in the Midgard setting. If you're playing in Greyhawk or Ravenloft and you want to introduce bear folk, go ahead. I mean, they're all 5th edition rules. They are literally interchangeable. Sorry, I need a little sip there. I'm still recovering from COVID, even though it's been a week. But my voice is still, you can hear it. It's kind of rough. So it is predominantly It's predominantly set in the Midgard world for this one. But again, it's a fantasy trope. You can plug and play. I plan on we're going in my Pathfinder 2nd edition game. We are going back to my homespun campaign, which was set in Absalom, and the players have expressed that they want to go back and do that. Not that there was anything wrong with Age of Ashes. We just felt like it was a little too railroady, and I felt that way too. I wasn't having fun GMing it. I mean, I was having fun hanging out with my friends and playing a cool game because we all really enjoy the Pathfinder 2nd edition rule set. It's just that I wasn't, and you know, here's the thing with role-playing games. If your GM is not having fun and they're just going through the motions, the players are going to feel it. and then the players stop having fun, and there's perusing on their laptops or looking at their phones more than what they should be. And so when you're coming over to someone's house for 3 to 4 hours, you want to make it's a time investment, and you want to have fun, and you want them to leave feeling like they had fun. And I think the problem with Age of Ashes, it's a very combat heavy adventure path, and it just felt like we were moving to the next combat, and we weren't gaming or role playing, and part of that's on me. My heart wasn't in it. Like I said, it's an amazing adventure path. It's the first one they put out for Pathfinder 2nd Edition. It kind of shows that there's a lot of errata on it. There's a lot of monsters that aren't dialed in properly, and if you don't go check the Paizo website and get the latest updates and stuff for all the APs, it tends to not be as much fun, and it was just a lot more work than I wanted to do. So we're gonna go back to running my homespun adventure. There's an evil half-orc cleric called Darzan that the party has made an enemy of, and he's kind of out to get them. And there was some sort of lizard folk that they saw that was going into a logging village, and then there's some mysteries going on that they're trying to figure out. One of their NPCs that was helping them was an elf. She was a ranger, and Darzan snapped her neck because he's a pretty big half orc. He's also an evil cleric, but they don't know of which god, and I'm not going to ruin it yet. Let them figure that out. And then in the course of that, they also managed to run afoul of a female young black dragon who got away. They did not kill her. She got away, and so she is not happy with them either. So there's some definite plots going on, and some adversaries, and some things happening in Absalom that the players are starting to uncover and trying to figure out that something's going on, and we'll see what happens. But anyway, my point being that the spells in here and the information in here is easy enough to convert to Pathfinder 2nd Edition with a little bit of work. I'm not going to say it's a walk in the park, because it is 5th edition to 2nd edition, but if you've been GMing, long enough, or where to look on the internet, you can find information on how to convert, D&D spell to Pathfinder, or find an equivalent. So that's what I'm looking forward to. One of the things that they have in here is they have a bear folk, and I'm going to look in the Pathfinder. I believe in one of the bestiaries there is like a werebear. And I want to see what that is and how that converts into a Pathfinder race or an ancestry. And because I would love to bring more of the Warlock Grimoire's information into Pathfinder 2nd Edition. And the big thing that Midgard has is it's real big on witches. Well, in Pathfinder we have witches, and we have druids and stuff, and so there's a lot of information in these books for druids and witches that I think, with just a little bit of effort, could be easily converted over the Pathfinder. So, but if you're not playing Pathfinder, you are playing D&D, and you're looking for a phenomenal setting, your players are tired of, Greyhawk or whatever, give Midgard a look. I'm telling you, by Kobold Press. First of all, Wolfgang Bauer puts out amazing product. Kobold Press is, I think they're one of the top tier publishers for Wizards of the Coast stuff. And believe me, I have emailed Wolfgang, and I've seen him at a convention. I asked him directly, when are we going to see some Pathfinder 2nd Edition? And he's like, you're not. It's, so those of us that are the Pathfinder guys for 2nd Edition, and we're hoping and praying for some of this Midgard stuff to be converted over officially, it's not going to happen. They are on the OGL, D&D train, and they're raking in the money, and you can't blame them. So it's left up to us enterprising GMs to convert the data and use it. I may try to maybe open up a Word document as I'm working on this stuff and convert it and put my notes down, and then maybe post it on a website or something, or post it on my Discord for people that are interested in it, because I don't think it's going to be terribly hard to convert this stuff. D&D and Pathfinder 2nd Edition are different, but they're still rooted in fantasy from the OGL and stuff. So I think I think it won't be as hard as I'm making it out to be. I think, and if you out there have done it already, or if you found a good conversion method, put links down in the doobly-doo down there. Let me know, because it'll help me out a lot. But I'm definitely gonna be taking a lot of stuff out of here. But what do you get for your $24.95 for Warlock Grimoire number 3? Well, the first thing that caught my mind, and I will point out, I ordered this. I'm on Kobold Press's emails. They send out a monthly newsletter, and they sent the newsletter saying, "Hey, on this date, this is available for pre-purchase." And as soon as I saw Miniature Market had it, which they did, they had it for pre-order, I bought it, and Miniature Market sent it to me right away. So as soon as it hit the street date, so. Shameless plug for Miniature Market. I know a lot of us use Amazon, but I know when I order game books from Amazon, they're typically a tertiary or third party, and they're not packaged very well, and they get banged up and dented. As you can see, this one is in pristine condition because Miniature Market packed it properly, and it didn't cost them anything extra. They did standard packaging. They just packaged it properly for a book of this size so that it didn't bounce around in corners, didn't get dinged up. And you can see it's in pristine condition. There's no dents or dings on it. So shameless plug for Miniature Market. You won't necessarily save as much as you do on Amazon, but it's real close. And for every dollar you spend, you earn a penny, and believe it or not, it adds up, and it usually will take care of the shipping costs. So you're getting it for roughly the same cost as Amazon after you do a couple of orders. So shameless plug for Miniature Market, but that's where I go to get a lot of my gaming books, because I'm just tired of Amazon damaging and dinging up my products, because I have a collection and I like to keep my books nice. But back to Warlock. What do you get for your $24.95? Well, you get 287 pages. The last page is the OGL. You get info on the bear folk. We're talking history, all kinds of information on the bear folk and the raven folk, which are two of the core races in Midgard. So again, another reason, if you're down with bear folk, I am, to jump on this. Tons of information on druids. There's a whole bunch of stuff on druid. Also, just for your edification, I like to use those big words sometimes. It makes me look smart. All of this information was in Warlock issues 20 to 28 of Warlock. So if you're a subscriber to Warlock on their Patreon, you don't need to buy this book unless you want everything in one spot in a hardback, in a solid book that is really well put together. I have used those two books a lot at my gaming table, and they have yet to fall apart, or pages aren't falling out. I would like to see them maybe charge $1 more and upgrade the quality of the book to put a ribbon in there, or maybe 2 ribbons to help us bookmark stuff, because these are the type of books that you're going to reference quite a bit at the gaming table, or your players are going to need certain information because they're playing a subclass or something. But that's just a pet peeve. The books are fine. A regular paper bookmark, external paper bookmark you can get from any bookstore or junk mail, whatever you use for book. Index cards I use as bookmarks a lot as well. So anyway, detailed information on Red Tower Village. Now you're going, John, what the hell is Red Tower Village? Well, go back in the archives and look at my review of the Scarlet Citadel that Kobold Press put out at the beginning of winter. I think it was late last year, early this year. I think it was late last year that it came out. Yeah, because I was at the convention in November or October, and I picked it up there. So yeah, it came out late October, Halloween 2021. Scarlet Citadel is their Kobold Press's entry into the Mega Dungeon. And Red Tower Village is the village that sits right outside the ruins of the Scarlet Citadel. So if you bought the Scarlet Citadel with the awesome map pack like I did, one of the things you'll notice is there's not a ton of information on the Red Tower Village. There's a little blurb. Your players start there. They come to the village. They give you some NPCs. They give you an inn to everybody to meet in, and that's pretty much it. I think there's 1 or 2 merchants that they describe, but there's not a ton of information on Red Tower, and that's where the adventure is based out of it. And then that's where you're going to go back to town as you explore the Scarlet Citadel. So they corrected that, and they put a ton of information inside of Warlock Grimoire number 3. So a lot of information on the Red Tower Village to support the Scarlet Citadel, which I think is phenomenal. Then, again, if you're into the Midlands and you're playing in that world, Kobold Press's world, it's broken up into two areas. There's the Midlands and then there's the Southlands. The Southland has a small splat book that's dedicated to it, which talks about some of the races, and it's more of the heavy forested. It's where your druids and maybe some of your witches are coming from, your bear folk, but it's not a whole lot of detailed information on it. So in this book, we get some more information on the Southlands, so that's good. There's also a nice article on dungeon design, so if you're into designing your own dungeons, like I am, this will be awesome. So that's pretty cool. They also give you some speculative fiction and some speculative information on a possible dragon empire and what their motivations are. So if you're an enterprising GM and you want to bring, dragonkin and dragons and dragonborn and everything like that into your game, here's your primer. Here's all the information you need. And then on top of that, broken down in the book, 10 subclasses for your different classes, 2 backgrounds, 42 new spells, 83 magic items. I mean, magic items are pretty universal. You can convert those with no problem. 22 monsters, 4 new feats, and 15 traps and hazards. And then, like I said, all of this info comes from issues 20 to 28 of the Warlock Patreon subscription. So if you're a Warlock subscriber, let me know down in the notes how you feel about it. I'm really tempted to subscribe to it, but then I'm thinking, I buy the books, and I mean they're $25, and this is bang for your buck, people. $25 for a book with this much information and the art. I wanted to show, since we've been yammering on about bear folk, and here's my Weird Frontiers bookmark. Thank you, David. David Beatty is the author and publisher or designer of Weird Frontiers, which is a DCC meets Deadlands meets Cthulhu. It's amazing. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out. As soon as I get my physical book, you better believe there'll be an awesome review. But anyway, here's a piece of the art. I'm going to cover up the screen so you can see it. Look at that. So you want to talk about bear folk? That's a bear folk dude right there, man. He is large and in charge. So, and that's the quality of the art you get in here. Here's some more bear folk. Like I said, they really go all out to tell you about the bear folk. So, really well done. I'm trying to say another piece of art. Just black and white art. I mean, back in my younger days, I would have got a hold of a book like this and I would have colored in that art. I did that on a number of my Rift books. Weird list. I mean, you got everything in here. Some monsters. And variations of monsters. I mean, because let's face it, there's nothing new. It's all variations and stuff that already exist. I'm just trying to find another cool piece. Oh, there you go. It's a nice wizard with a monocle. Can't go wrong with that. So, it's amazing, guys. It's really good. And all 3 of the books are chock full of that same style of art. Really well done. Just super duper high quality information that you're going to find useful in your game. And like I said, I'm going to try and figure out if I can convert the bear folk. We've already got the ravens for Pathfinder, but I don't believe we have a bear folk. So I'm going to try and see if I can figure out how to add that and see where I can take it. So that's really it, guys. I want to talk about that. So that's kind of the end of the review. Now we're going to do a little housekeeping. We are over the 1,000 subscribers. So the big thing now is I think you have to have 4,000 hours of view time. And we're close. We're like 3,700 hours. So do me a favor. Grease the algorithms of YouTube. Put my videos on, loop. Let them play in the background. Turn the sound off. You can turn the sound off individually in YouTube. Just let them play in the background on your PC or your laptop or your whatever. And, your Xbox if you're not using it, really helps out the channel. Obviously, like and subscribes really help. Tell your friends if this is the kind of content that you and your friends might enjoy, And if you do enjoy what I do, please help support me on Patreon or my drive-through affiliate link, which will be down in the doobly-doo. as Matt Colville likes to say, I totally stole that from him because I think it's just appropriate for my wackiness. So yeah, we got excuse me, I had a frog in my throat. We've got Patreon. It's $5 a month. It gets you a designator on my Discord. I have my own private Discord channel. That is, you're more than welcome to join. We talk about tabletop RPGs. If you're a publisher, game designer, and you've been published, you have official books out there for purchase on the market, you can join the channel. I'll give you a publisher designator, and that gives you access to the hashtag publisher announcements where you can advertise your wares and your product. And we're a small Discord channel, but hey, we're growing, and it's an audience that you may not have been able to reach otherwise. So that's always there for you as well. Publishers don't have to be Patreon subscribers. Nice if you are, but you don't have to be. It's just the thing about Mr. Mean Speaks is it's a community of gamers for gamers. I don't have a moderator. I don't need one. We have super awesome people in our group from all walks of life, from all types of games. We've got miniature gamers, we've got board gamers, we've got tabletop role player gamers. It is a community that supports gaming in itself. So now we don't talk video games, we don't talk historicals too much, but we do have some historical gamers that also work in the tabletop game industry, and so they it crosses over, and that's what we have the hashtag. The miniature is the art. And as you can see, I have some miniature stuff behind me and things like that. So definitely stop in there. I'm trying to grow the Discord as well, so it's free to join. Doesn't cost you anything. If you're a Patreon, you get the designator that shows that you are a Patreon. The Patreon membership, it's $5. I don't have tiers. And that also gets you, every once in a while, I'll do a free drawing. Publishers will sometimes send me extra copies. And so I do a drawing, and those go out to you as well. I send those out to you, so I may reach out and say, hey, I need your address. Also, I got some cool stickers made. I don't have one of my hologram stickers here, but these are the regular stickers. They're 3 inches circular, just my little channel logo. And so all of my Patreon members are getting they're getting one of each. They're getting one of these, the regular, and then the hologram sticker. And I'll be sending those out as I get the Patreon members' address. Some have already gone out. So if you get the stickers, if you're lucky enough to get one, shoot me a picture on the Discord and show me where you stuck it. I think it's pretty cool. I have a gaming laptop here that I do all my recording on, and I've got a bunch of stickers on it. And so, of course, the Mr. Mean stickers on there. So we've talked about Patreon, we've talked about Discord, YouTube. Like and subscribe, help support the channel. It really, you wouldn't believe how much just leaving that video on and playing in the background helps and supports the algorithms that YouTube uses to monetize the channel. And I'm looking at this moving into the future as my retirement plan. I'll be 55 this summer, and so I've only got a few more years of work left in me, and I would like to do this full time to retire and do interviews. My interviews have been getting a lot of great reviews, and it's really fun to do them. I enjoy doing the reviews. So if you're new to the channel, go in the archives and check out the reviews. Hopefully you'll enjoy them. I think I'm going to go through the channel today because it's snowing, and I don't think we're going to be able to get out of the house. I'm going to go in and realign the channel and maybe make a Mr. Mean interviews channel, and then I'm going to put all those interviews into that channel so they're a little easier to find. We also have live plays that we do every so often off of Foundry, and as Patreons you get first dib to that. So there's a lot of benefits to being a Patreon member. But you don't have to be. If I don't get enough players or people can't play, from the Patreon list, then I go to the Discord subscribers and reach out to them. So if you want to get in on those games, if you want to play around with Foundry, if you're not quite sure, that's the best way to get in there and get some of that experience is to hit me up on the Discord channel. It's on my phone. I have access to it all day long, so I'm constantly replying, and we have some great conversations that go on in there. So definitely look to that. And if you need GMing advice or you just want to talk about your favorite game, that's the place to do it. We're on I think we got ZellyPay going. That's only for U.S. members. That's if you want to send a one-time donation. I bowed out of eBay and Patreon or PayPal. I just had some bad experiences with both, and I just don't want to support their businesses. So I believe I've removed the PayPal link, PayPal, pay me. I don't believe that's in my channel notes anymore. It will be on some of the older channels. I still have a PayPal account because you really can't get rid of it. But I'm not a huge fan of PayPal. They kind of jerk me over, and I don't want to support them in any way, shape, or form. So let me see here. I want to just double check my links. Yeah, PayPal is gone. So I'm on ZellyPay. If you're in the U.S., I also got a Facebook page. So Mr. Mean Speaks. So I created a business page, and I think that was the wrong way to go. I think I should have created a group. So I'm gonna maybe Sunday night when I'm sitting around winding down from the weekend and getting ready to start work back up on Monday, I'll go in there and retool that. But I am on Facebook. So if you want to reach out through Facebook and grab me, I'm on a number of the Pathfinder groups as well. So you'll see me post there every so often. But yeah, I'm back on Facebook as Mr. Mean Speaks, John Polak. So feel free to, send me a friend request or whatever. Let me know that you saw my video. And, if you buy anything through DriveThruRPG, please, 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 it really, really helps the channel if you let them know that you bought this because you saw my video. Let them know, hey, I'm here because Mr. Mean Speaks said your product was great, so I'm checking it out or whatever. So that really goes a long way because the publishers see that and they will reach out to me and they help support the channel. So that's a good thing. So please, if it's not too much trouble and they make it easy enough, and a lot of times they do, let them know, hey, I found this through Mr. Mean Speaks YouTube channel. So we do some video games. I stream Star Wars, The Old Republic. I think I'm going to start streaming Guild Wars because I'm a big Guild Wars fan too. I just haven't played in a while, and I have this awesome gaming laptop. So I'm also playing New World, the Amazon MMO, and I'm really enjoying that. But I just work with COVID, and then this was my first week back at work. I haven't gotten a chance to really get back into the swing of things, but I wanted to get a video out because it had been a while since I had done a review, and I think Warlock Grimoire III is phenomenal. You should go buy it, even if you're not a D&D fan, but you play fantasy games. You'll find some information in there that's useful to you. And for $24.95, that's a lot of bang for your buck for 287 pages of gaming goodness. So I think that's all I've got, guys. Help support the channel. Thumbs if you loved it. But I can't even get it right. Thumbs if you liked it. Subs if you loved it. Thank you to Dave 2D and his tech channel. I've been watching Dave for years, and I'm a huge fan. Other than that, guys, I don't have much. I got this frog in my throat. I got to get rid of it. I hope everyone's doing well. I hope you're masking up and staying safe. Go get your shots for COVID if you haven't gotten them yet. My son just got his first shot, so we're excited about that. We're going to get him his next shot here as soon as he's eligible, and then a year from that, he'll get his booster. So we're doing really good. As always, peace, hair grease, like and subscribe. Tell your friends. Let's grow the meanie army. Hit me up on Discord. And with that, I'm going to say adieu. And thanks for watching, guys. Be nice.